Today, we are going to explore together the deepest teaching of Ramana Maharshi, which in Tamil is Chumma Iru, and the English translation of that is simply be, or just be, or be as you are. Several different ways you can express it, but simply be. And this is such a powerful technique. It's not even a technique. You cannot even call it a technique, because how can simply being be a technique? But what it can do for you, if you are a spiritual seeker, if you are looking for the truth within, divinity within, or enlightenment or self-realization, is that it's actually going to remove all illusion, really understanding this and putting this into practice, which is very subtle, because this truly is the simplest and most profound teaching of Ramana Maharshi. And because it's so simple, it can get really abstract and hard to understand for the mind, which tries to make everything complicated. Even though it is inherently simple, our mind can make it seem more and more of a thing to understand. So we will build the foundations of understanding first, but then based on that foundation of understanding, we will bring into our awareness the true essence of it, which is the practicing or application of it. So before we go into it further, a little bit about me, because who is this guy with a beard on the internet talking about this? I am Ra Netcher. I'm a spiritual awakening mentor, and this teaching was pivotal on my spiritual awakening journey, on my journey to enlightenment and integration of that into everyday life. And I know this will be powerful for you too, if you are looking for enlightenment, that is. And this teaching of Ramana Maharshi, being so subtle and profound, for me personally, it took so long to really get it. It was something my mind was trying to grasp at, trying to understand, trying to conceptualize, trying to put into dualistic terms, basically, because the mind is an instrument of duality, steeped in duality, working with duality naturally, because thoughts are made up of all the things that we have picked up, and we have I, me, mine. I am trying to understand this. Right? So combining this with the main path of Ramana Maharshi, which is self-inquiry, asking yourself, who am I? This can be even more powerful. But even if you don't know anything about Ramana Maharshi, which I highly recommend you look him up and read the book Who Am I, the tiny little book, which is so full of powerful insights that will transform your life. Teachings that are so succinct, yet full of amazing power. So let's get right into it. Simply be, Chumma Iru or Summa Iru. So if we go to the root of the teaching in the language Tamil, we can break down these two words into Summa Iru. The first word, Summa or Chumma. I use two different variations of this, because in different South Indian languages, pronunciation is a little bit different and the meaning is the same. Chumma, summa is simply. Chumma is also like removing all the complexity and making it just so simple. And chumma iru, just be. It has a connotation. You have to understand the cultural kind of context here a little bit. That's why I'm going into this. Chumma, like chumma, just be. It's kind of like making it not so serious. The mind tries to have a kind of like a dramatization. When I say, oh, this is the most profound teaching, you may have had this dramatization in your mind, which is helpful for the mind to like really pay attention, right? Otherwise, like, it's just a teaching. But when you get really into the teaching, you have to make it very simple, not dramatic, not serious. Chumma. So this has a kind of playfulness in it, which I'm trying to convey to you. The playfulness, not non-seriousness. Life is play. Leela. In this maya of duality, in this illusion of separation, we play. It is God playing with God. And this whole journey, even though sometimes it may feel very serious, difficult, all these things that you may go through on the path, which may feel like depression, hopelessness, meaninglessness, and all the dark times, the dark night of the soul, even all that is included in the play of Leela. Leela is the Sanskrit word for play. And the players, even though they may look numerous, there is just only one player. That is you. You. Yes, you. There is nobody else. There is nothing else. And you are being reflected back to you in the other. In me right now. You're looking into my eyes, but you're actually looking into your own eyes. Which may feel strange if you are used to how we operate in the world, right? We are like, oh, this is me, that is you. This is my name, that is your name. But when you understand that this is all play, and there is actually nothing else but God, and then you really get the essence of Chumma. Just be. It's all play. Chumma. Be. We'll get to Iru or be later, but Chumma, Leela. Leela. The understanding that life is a play of God. You are playing with yourself, essentially. And take away the seriousness, take away the complexity, take away the dramatization. And what remains is this freedom to be. The freedom to exist, the freedom of liberation, the simplicity of existence. Chumma. When you really get this, it's going to transform you. So really meditate upon this word, Chumma, and apply that word into everything you see, every interaction you have with yourself as the other. Apply this. See, oh, even though it looks like somebody else is talking with you, isn't this a play? Contemplate upon that. And when you really start seeing it, when you open yourself up to see it first, right? And then you start seeing that everything you think I did, you did, they did, is all a spontaneous occurrence in this field of awareness that simply is, and there is no person, no doer doing this, neither you nor other. Nobody is doing anything. In the Bhagavad Gita, and even in other religions, you've heard this. Without the will of God, not even a blade of grass moves. In Sanskrit, that is, Tena vina trinamapi na chalati. Which means that everyone is dancing to the music that they don't even know that they are hearing. All animals, all plants, all humans, even with their cunningness and ego and whatnot, everything is happening by the will of God. And no matter what we think about that, oh, I did this. The commentary comes later. I did this, you did this. These struggles come later. In our mind, we assign the doership to ourselves and others, but in a clear seeing, you will see when you get to that point that it's all a spontaneous play of God that you are simply there to witness. And even the witness disappears after that. Chumma. Simply. Playfully. Without anything to stand upon. Another deeper way of looking at this is simply means without depending on anything else. Independently, simply. Normally, we are dependent on some story of ourselves, some narration of the situation. Our ego mind tries to grasp hold of, oh, what is happening right now? What is going on? There's always this commentary in the mind, in the background, that is believed. And because it is believed at whatever level, very consciously or very unconsciously, there is this idea that has been subscribed to and given power to, you see, which creates the illusion of that being real because we believe it. And we depend upon that belief. The root cause of this is the belief of I as a separate existence. The little I. The ego. But once you see that it is empty, in the Buddhist way of looking at things, when you see the shunyata of the I, the ahankara, in Sanskrit, the I-ness being confined to this body, this personality, this mind. When you see the emptiness of it, when you see the hollowness of that, when you see the illusory nature of I, then you are not dependent on that anymore. You don't need that foundational story to exist for you to think, oh, I am doing this, I am doing that. So simply means a removal of that too, going to the essence, removing everything else. This comes to the same place as neti neti. This is another popular technique that Advaita Vedanta speaks about. And it's ancient, it's powerful. It was very powerful for me to practice neti neti. But the essence of it is removal of everything that is foreign to you. Going to the essential and rejecting everything else. Neti neti means not this, not this. Whenever this idea comes, that story, this story. And there is just a simple and powerful refusal of anything that is conceptual, seeing it as illusion and cutting it down. I mean, I can go into the depth of it in another video, but here, knowing that simply means you are at this point stripped of all that is unnecessary, all that you depend upon normally. Now you are independent. And that is the preparation, simply. And once all that is removed, like in Buddhism they say, Gate gate paragate parasangate bodhi swaha. Gone, gone, taken away, even more taken away, even more gone. Paragate, parasangate, with that even more gone. Bodhi. Enlightenment. Being awake. Swaha. Swaha. Which is like, there it is. Voila. Swaha also means consumed. Swaha also means enjoyed. Enlightenment is seen and enjoyed and realized when you remove everything. The Heart Sutra. Yes. They all point to the same truth once you get to the essence of it. And this teaching is really going to the essence, like the very core of it. But all this explanation is needed to give you the context to simply be. So now we will go to the second word. Iru. Iru. Be. And advice, it's like saying you do this. Be. To be. To be or not to be, that is the question, right? We are normally becoming this, becoming that. We become attached to this, we become attached to that. We identify with this, we identify with that. So I become in my illusion of the ego. I become the ego when I believe the story of who I am. What will I do tomorrow? The illusion of the doer. So you are becoming as you believe that story. The ego identifies with a person, a concept, an idea, a story of who you are. And in that, there is a loss of being, and there is a narrowing down of consciousness into a little thing which at that moment you believe yourself to be. So the entire universe eternity becomes a little human being. You have this perspective. From that perspective, you're like, I'm this person who has to do all these things, who has to figure out what to eat for dinner, or where to go tomorrow, how to plan, how to overcome all these fears. What do I do with all these worries, these anxieties? And then, what's the difference when you be? So when you have gone through the process of Chummairu, the preparation, where you remove everything, go to the essence. Be is the natural next step. The natural next step where you are, where you simply are. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to figure out. There is nothing to plan, or there's no complication. You have simplified it by simply, right? With the first word. And now your job is to be, which is not a job, which is not a doing, but we use these dualistic concepts, so we have to kind of try to convey what cannot be conveyed in words. So in my mentorship, in my community, the reason I do a lot of transmission teachings is because a lot of these things cannot be put into words. Concepts that are so deep that it overwhelms the thinking brain with dualities which cannot be resolved, two contradictory things being true at the same time. The mind cannot make sense of that. But a transmission teaching, right? But simply be. Now that you have let go of all dualistic concepts, all story, all ideas that you've held to be true, even though they can exist in, for you to work with 3D reality, you may need to refer to these ideas, like, otherwise how do I drink this? I drink this water. What is water? What is a glass? You have those faculties, those tools that let you work with the apparent 3D reality, but at the same time, you can be independent of all of that in this moment without necessarily referring to the past with all the stories and memories and samskaras and karmas which ask us to do this, ask us to do that, ask us to figure out, ask us to think about. Letting go again and again and again. This is the process. All you have to do is let go, let go, let go. There's a Buddhist saying, you can meditate for 30 years, for a whole lifetime, in a cave, in a monastery. Or in this moment, right now, you can let go, let go, let go. And you get to the same place. Actually, you cannot get to that place without letting go. How can you be when you're holding on to all this luggage, all these things in your head, and trying to, fight with this world? Let go, let go, let go. Be vigilant of complicating things and holding on to things again. Notice. The simplest technique I teach my students, that is really, really deep, which gets to the same essence. Breathe, notice, let go. So I've made a complete video about that, which you can, I don't know where, here or here, I'll link it in the cards, and you'll see it on my channel. But it goes in depth about that. But breathe, notice, let go. With every breath, you notice where this action of grasping happens, which tries to get you out of being into becoming. Grasping is becoming. And you let go of it. Pure and simple. Let go, let go, let go. And then finally, it'll take some time, it'll take some understanding the nuances and putting them into practice. The application is very, very different from conceptual understanding, right? But finally, you, my dear, will arrive at this place where you simply are. You simply are. And there is nothing else. Nobody else. No troubles. No you, no God, no separation. Only God. Only you, whichever you say. It's the same thing. But here there is no definition either. You overcome all definitions. And as long as you keep letting go and coming back to being, because there is a period of like going there and it's too much, it's the unknown, I want to go back to the familiar state of being in the ego, being little and trying to suffer. But finally, after going through these cycles, which may take years for some people it may not. But at least in your mindfulness, in your meditations, you can make this that North Star, which you come back to, where you simply are. No matter what you're doing, no matter how things are going in life, ups and downs, you can be equanimous in this state of simply being. And it's possible for you. It's possible for you. Enlightenment is possible for you. It's not a myth. It's not some fancy thing that only if you meditate in a cave for tens of years, or if you have a beard. All this is external to you. You don't need a beard, or you don't need any other qualifications on the outside. This is just a role we play. This is for the 3D reality. But beyond all of that, no matter how you are in the world, like the Ashtavakra Gita says, an enlightened one does not need to wear a symbol on their head saying, "Oh, I'm enlightened." But in this 3D reality, for conversational purposes, there is a value to doing certain things, which is optional. Everything is optional. When you simply are, you realize that wow, this whole play is just for play. And then you can choose to engage in this play, whatever fashion that feels right to you or suitable to you for your role as an actor on this stage of awareness. Then you can act out your play consciously. Hmm. So this is my invitation to you. And if this feels too much to do by yourself, because for me, even reading Ramana Maharshi and other amazing teachers, Nisargadatta Maharaj, teachers from the Buddhist side, Adyashanti, amazing teachers. I just couldn't get it for a long time. So if this feels complicated to you, I'm here to help. If this resonates with you, reach out to me. I have a link in the description where you can understand more about this approach, which is based on ancient principles. In Buddhism, it's called the Three Jewels. So you can go deep into this awareness with support. You don't need to do this by yourself. You can go much deeper, much faster, much easier, much more joyfully, much more playfully, doing it with the right kind of guidance and support, if you are open to it. Because that's what changed everything for me. When I was trying to do it all alone by myself, it was sometimes really, really, really hard. And the ups and downs, this roller coaster ride was so tiring. Sometimes I felt completely hopeless. And went into the dark night of the soul. But there's no honor in suffering alone. There is an easier path if you're ready. So next I invite you to watch this video, which is what I call the full guide to enlightenment, essentially, which really talks about how you can achieve enlightenment. And I invite you to watch that next. Thank you so much, and I hope to hear from you. Namaste. Take care. Bye-bye.